and welcome to our Glutes and Abs Challenge. Everything is going to be done on the floor. Option is to use a weight for torso rotations if you'd like to go there. It'll be about a medium or moderate to heavy weight or so, but everything can be done without a weight as well. Let's get warmed up first. We're going to just warm up to our shoulder girdle and into plank position, hand underneath your shoulders, toes tucked under, and we'll go ahead and send the hips back. So we send the hips back and then come forward. So we're sending the hips back, then come forward. Abs are super tight. Great way to warm up into our shoulder girdle and into our core. Option to drop to your knees and then come forward. Okay, so find what works for you today. Just kind of warming up a little bit, mobilizing. One more time, and then we're gonna get started, peeps. Let's do it. Roll yourself onto your side, shoulder directly above the elbow. Okay, so we're gonna go knees bent here and the feet are stacked. Hands on top of your hip here, and you wanna keep everything pulled in tight. We're going into a clamshell with a hip lift. So we're lifting up into a side lift, and then we lower down. So it's basically a side plank with clamshell, and then we lower down. Great way to work total body, you guys. So we're working strongly through our hips as well as our obliques, the side abs. So as you're lifting, you're pressing to the outer knee there. And what it does is it adds more resistance into the floor. The top leg, you don't have resistance up here, but we're still mobilizing to that hip and it still works the outer glute. So lift and squeeze and then lower down. Lift and squeeze and lower down. Pulling the belly button in the whole time and really lift through this waistline. Yeah, because that gets that side, right? The obliques. We're gonna hold this up, freeze, and then pulse the clamps. You're pushing it away, and really feel that bottom leg. Can you feel that? The glute fires up so much. There it goes. Now hold this next one up, a little challenge. Pop the leg forward, we're sweeping it forward and then back. Forward and then back. Option to drop to your hip and pull back, especially if your shoulder gets tired too. But otherwise, we're sweeping forward, we're squeezing to the glute, sweeping forward and squeezing to the glute. Couple more. There you go, one more time. And then let's go ahead and give the shoulder a rest there. Coming all the way down, take your top leg, toe points forward. Tendency is for the toe to point up, okay? So we're gonna point it forward and even slightly down, the leg slightly goes back to fire up the outer glute. Here he goes, up and down. It's like the medial glute here. Exhale, lift. This hand, a lot of times like, what do we do with it? A lot of times I just hold it in front of me like this. So squeezing to the abdominal muscles, you want to think about lifting that bottom waistline up so we're not just dumping down into the floor. Of course, always active. Lift and lower. You should be starting to feel this on this side, right? So squeeze that and lower down. Toes pointing down. You know, you want to really only lift as high as your hip stops you, your bones stop you. One more time, we're gonna hold it about the height of the hip. The knee comes in and then kick it back. It's essentially a donkey kick sideline. So pulling the knee in and then we're pushing through the heel. Squeeze your booty. Inhale in, exhale, squeeze your glute. This is working your abductors, so it's all about the glute, the medial glute. It is such a big muscle back there. So many different ways to work it. In and then back. You breathing still? Hopefully you're breathing. Let's go for one more. Boom. And then down. Ooh, I can feel those. All right, so we will do the other side in a little bit, but first, we're gonna go into our torso rotation. So, heel is on, holding the weight, if you're holding the weight, at your collarbone area or your chest. We're gonna scoop the belly a little bit or scoop to the tailbone and then lean back. Okay, if you have any back issues, I'm gonna show you an option in a second. We're gonna twist side to side. Okay, so you're rotating at your belly button, not trying to reach your dumbbell to the floor. Sometimes that causes too much torque in the lower back. We want the obliques. It's all about up here. That's the best rotational movement for the hips. If you want, of course, no weight. If you want to advance the option, no cross to ankles. Okay, now option here is to just stay down here, feet down, and then twisting side to side, especially if you have any low back issues. Okay, otherwise, legs are up, twisting side to side. The legs aren't going with you. And again, watch your speed. A lot of times it's super easy to go fast and then the legs are just swaying all over the place. We want that control through your core. Head always turns with the torso. I'm shaking. All right, let's go for one more on each side and then come on down. All righty, so from here, let's go ahead and keep one leg down. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Crunching up, lowering down. Crunching up, lowering down. So we're squeezing into the abdominal muscles. If you need to, bend your knee and then lengthen out. We want that height from the shoulder, allowing the arm to guide you into that rotation. And down. If you need to, you can, of course, keep your hands supporting your head. Twist. But remember, it's more about your shoulder coming across, not pulling on your neck. So lift and lower. Lift and lower. So you got two more. Now let's hold this next one up, freeze, and then pulse up, up. And you want the upper body to come up towards the leg. The leg is just gonna stay there. Option to bent knee. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. Ready for the other side? Here we go. So we're gonna lift the leg up and down, up and down. So we're rotating from the torso. The leg just goes straight up and down. Option, bent knee. And remember, you're reaching the arm to the outside of your thigh. The arm is a great guide to help you into that oblique rotation. Twist and lower. Really focus on lifting your shoulders up. The tendency is to focus so much on the leg lift that we don't lift the upper body enough. And you want the upper body to come up because remember, that's what the abs are, upper body. But this is still great work for your hip flexor and your lower abs. Lift. Okay, it is time. Ready? Hold this up and pulse it up, up. So your upper body is reaching and rotating. Support your head if you need to. Squeeze into your abs, the long straight leg or bent knee. Keep breathing, by the way. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. Awesome. Let's go ahead and go into the side hip lift on the other side. Let me come over here. Shoulder directly above your elbow. Knees stacked, feet stacked. Hands on hip. Pull the belly in. Let's go. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. So you want to squeeze into that glute. And remember, this bottom leg, push into the floor. Let's be so active to the back side. Big muscle. Here you go. Lift. It's not so bad when you first start, right? It starts to build. Okay. And remember, you're pushing firmly through your forearm. You want to feel that bottom rib area, that waistline really working for you. Squeeze. Squeeze. Oh, yes. I can already feel it. Alrighty-o. On the next one, we're holding up and pulsing. Push. Push. It's like you're pushing your knees away from each other, pressing into the ground. Lift. Squeeze. Squeeze. squeeze, squeeze. Very active on that bottom hip from the glute. Hold it up, freeze, top leg extends. Let's sweep it forward and point back. Sweep forward, point back. Remember your option to drop to your hip at any time, but keep pushing through your forearm on that bottom arm. Inhale forward, exhale back. Watch for the hip wanting to rock forward and back. Everything else is still. The only joint that's moving right now, you guys, leg, right? It's coming from the hip. Then reach to your toes, squeeze that booty. Exhale, shh. Just one more left. And then we're gonna let the upper body come down and rest. Oh yeah, I needed that. Come all the way down. All right, here we go. Top leg, point forward, and remember, slightly down even, and then pull it back. Get that glute active. Here we go. Lift and lower. Pull the navel in, and remember that little mouse hole underneath your waistline. Lift. It should already be woken up there. The glutes are definitely active. Want to feel them, strengthen them. Tone the glutes. Oh yes. Think about leading to the outer ridge of your heel versus your toes. Your toes are trying to point down, but keep kind of engaging back there. A little squeeze the butt cheek. Keeping everything horizontal or facing me. One more time. Hold it here up at the height of the hip. Pull the knee in. And then kick it back. Remember, it's a slight donkey kick feel here. We're pushing and squeezing to that glute. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Keep the belly button drawn in, right? Just by doing that, it helps us keep our core very anchored and still and supported of our spine. Couple more. Heck yeah. One more time. Push back and done. All right, roll over onto your back. Just one more thing. Double crunches. So we're gonna tuck in, kick away. Tuck in, kick away. Lifting your shoulders, squeezing to the abs. A little bit of a tailbone tuck. And let's pulse it, guys. Pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. This is it. 9, 8, 7, 6. Lift your shoulders. 4, 3, 2, and done. Lengthen your legs out. Lengthen your arms overhead. Stretch through your torso. Very well deserved stretch here. Take a leg, hook it over. Hand reaches through the window. Oh yeah. Glute stretch. Remember, you can hold these stretches as long as you want. Let's do the other side. Stretching to that glute. It is very important, by the way, to stretch after you work muscles. So always make sure you stretch. Alrighty-o, help yourself up. Okie dokes. If you have any questions, comments, would like to see other things, let me know in the comments below. My name is Kimmy. I will see you at the next video.